Diwali is all about dressing up your home, inviting the blessings of Goddess Lakshmi and making sound investments. That's why we move now to our question looking at the demand and price rise in India's residential sector. Is it time to actually invest in a second home? Not just one to live in, but also buy it as an investment. Sanjay, often that comparison is made between India and China, saying, look, India as a whole is selling about 5.5 lakh units. China, even in a bad year of its economy, is selling 1.1 crore homes. So look at the big runway that we have. If the runway is looking that great, though I must say the per capita income in India is about $2,500 compared to about $22,000 in China. So no one actually looks at that number. Having said that, put all of it in perspective and tell me, is it a good investment, especially if you are in that higher income bracket and you can buy a second home?
If you are a salaried class person and do not have large pool of capital to buy off-the-shelf investment, this is a brilliant opportunity to create wealth by borrowing loan and buying a property by paying 20-30%. And even if you rent it out subsequently, the 2% yield that you will get from a residential with some appreciation in the property blended of 4 and 5%, considering that bulk of your capital is coming from a home loan on a subsidized rate, which over a period of time you're able to retire. Most people retire in 7 to 8 years. It's a brilliant opportunity in my opinion, because over a period of time, you can consolidate this investment and maybe go for investment in commercial in future, where the yields are 7 to 8% and some even 9%. So this is a journey of investment, and housing is a critical step. Don't delay it. Do it immediately.
So you are saying, because we were having this conversation maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and everybody I was hearing was saying end use. Are you changing that position, Sanjay, saying, look, it is okay if you can afford it to buy a residential property as an investment? It's a yes or no answer.
Absolutely yes.
Okay. Amit, what would you say? I mean, HNIs have always been dabbling in real estate. In fact, they have multiple properties and multiple real estate. What is their mood as of now?
So my answer is yes, Manisha, and because of a couple of reasons. One, still people optimize their tax outgo because there is a 10 crore capital gain long-term reinvestment possibility, which is why we see a lot of HNIs coming and investing.
What you make in selling your equity, either as a startup or in ESOPs or stock markets, you can invest up to 10 crores in a luxury property.
Correct. Even sale proceeds of a property. Okay. So if you've sold a property and you're reinvesting into a property, even then, up to 10 crore, you optimize your tax outgo. So that is one of the reasons people do buy. Secondly, the way market has seen good run up in the last 2 years, 3 years, I feel that this is going to continue for some few more years. So that again gives you a reason to invest in the real estate. And 3, people are buying for lifestyle and their own luxury.
Manish, let me come to you. Would you as a lender second Sanjay's suggestion that probably it's time to look at a second property on mortgage as an investment?
So, as the only lender in the panel, I'm going to be a bit contrarian, to the rest of the guys here. And keeping the HNI group aside, there's different reasons for looking at properties, including the tax offsets. There's 2 or 3 things that, I'd like the viewers to keep in mind. One, as a buyer, for example, I live in South Central Mumbai. And I think it's important for everyone to take these calls with specific micro markets in mind. Where I live, for instance, over the last decade, there was phenomenal appreciation leading up until 10 years ago, and it's been quite flat because of some of the oversupply that's happened. So it still costs you 9% to mortgage, to take out a mortgage. And, post-tax, if you're going to make 2%, income on your rentals, I would hope that you have good reason to believe that you have a clear line of sight to 5 to 10% appreciation. Otherwise, it doesn't make as much sense. The second thing, which I just, 2 other points in the area of advising a bit of caution is one, each time you look at an asset running up in prices and you start to believe this time it's different, you want to take a good long look at your own finances and make sure, there is a thin line between smart leverage and getting over leveraged.
Right.
We see, for instance, middle income, upper middle income, salaried, homeowners, moving to their third home. You're talking about second homes. People in the 50 lakh, 75 lakh home range are looking at buying their third homes, and we have to flag these as, we have to flag these loans as people's third home. So I'd just advise a little bit of caution.
Okay.
And the last thing I'd say, in this area of advising caution and just being a bit conservative, you're seeing a lot of talk on consumer debt being run up. So if you're going to look at this as an investment, you're going to borrow to, build your asset base. It only bears to reason that you want to look at readjusting some of your other expenses. You don't want to be borrowing for your second and third home and borrowing for your holiday and then saying, hey, here's the next iPhone and I'm going to get that on an installment. And before you know it, you've got 70, 80, 90% of your income that goes out in the form of debt. So apologies for sounding a bit grandfatherly here, but I just advise a bit of caution.
Please have your comfort level. Also understand it's a cyclical industry. There are good times and there will be times which won't be very good. So you have to have that holding capacity and mortgage payable capacity before you take a decision to buy your second home. But if you do have surplus cash and you find a great deal, then all our panelists are saying maybe it's time to look at, or at least two of our panelists are saying it's time to look at a second home as an investment. Sanjay Dutt, Manish Shah and Amit Goyal, thank you gentlemen. It's a really good advice and I think sane advice through the show. Wishing you all a very happy Diwali, and to all our audience, thank you very much for joining us on our Diwali special. Wishing you all a peaceful and prosperous year ahead. Goodbye.